Hi, John. It's Nick. Couple of quick questions. Um, were you planning on telling me about the takeover? No. You see, it's just the transfer window starts in a couple of days, and you've put us under a transfer embargo. Uh huh. Means can't sign any players. Uh huh. Well, I'm sure you're aware we did just get promoted to the championship. Kinda need to strengthen the squad. Mm-hmm. And what's going to happen with me? What do you mean you don't know? Surely you can insist that I remain in the job. I did, as I said, just get promoted to the championship. Hi there, folks, and welcome back to Sons of the Rock. I'm Nick from SonickFM, and back a little bit earlier than normal today. Normally, the start of the video would be round up the transfers and then getting into the start of the new season. But as you probably picked up from the intro, we're under a takeover, and as such, we're on a transfer embargo. So, in terms of the takeover, it's apparently a £210,000 takeover bid from an Edinburgh-based consortium led by business tycoon Colin Hosey, and he intends to invest upwards of £55,000 into the club. So no transfers taking place until takeover has been resolved. As I also said in the intro, it is currently the 4th of June. If we take a look at the schedule, the transfer window opens in 5 days. So fingers crossed this takeover can get resolved within the next 5 days. Well, that didn't take long. Only took about a week. The consortium has completed the takeover. So we have our new chairman, Colin Hosey. He replaces John Steele. And I'm still on the job by the looks of things. Got a personal message thanking me for my patience during what has undoubtedly been a stressful time. £55,000 has been pumped into the club's coffers, and new transfer budget has been calculated. No changes to the club vision expectation means they still want us to play defensively solid and counter-attacking football. Work within the wage budget. A minimum 2-year contract for first team players is a new one, and it's still a fight against relegation for the championship as well. And the transfer embargo has been lifted, so we can now go about signing players. So I'm now going to go get through the rest of pre-season, try and get some transfers done, and we'll be back, as always, with the start of the new season and a roundup of the transfer window. Alright, back now at the start of the new league season. Well, that was a tough summer. That's probably the toughest off-season transfer window I've done certainly in this series, but in a long time in this game. And you'll see why in just a second. Before we get into transfers and results in the cups, etc., things have not got off to a great start with my new chairman. If we take a look at the finances, you can see that we've got over £300,000 in the bank. It's the best we've been so far. Our original budget has gone up by £6,000, and again, I'll explain why in just a second. And we have masses of money left in the wage budget. Projection-wise, we're projected to still be in a positive balance at the end of the season, and everything is looking positive. We're only projected to make a £1 loss over the next 2 seasons. I think that don't think that's going to be the case. I think we might make a bit more than that, considering if we check the league table, not the league table, the league rules, where even if we finish last and get relegated, we make £191,000. But we had all this money, so I went to my chairman and I said, we don't have any youth recruitment at all. Could we increase the budget for youth recruitment to allow us to then maybe have someone bring in some youth intake every year, which we currently don't have? And he said that the level of youth recruitment is adequate for a club of our stature. we're in the Championship and we don't have any. We're in the second tier of Scottish football and we don't have a youth recruitment. I then went to them and said, can we become a professional team to allow us to better compete in the division that we're in? And they said, no, we can't afford that. Okay. So I think to turn professional, it's going to need to be a case of get promoted and be forced to turn professional. But those things I can live with. I can deal with those with no youth recruitment and with no, still being a semi-professional team. But then, he went and sold Ethan Ross out from under me. I was fending off interest in Ethan Ross all transfer window. Ethan Ross first came to me and said that after, I think it was St Johnstone put a bid in for him, said that he was upset I wouldn't allow him to speak to St Johnstone. I managed to convince him to stay at the team. He was happy. I was able to reject offers from St Johnstone, Kilmarnock, Hibs, Livingston. I think Dundee put a bid in as well. Potentially Dundee United. Basically, Premiership teams. And I was able to reject them all, and he was happy with that. Then Hibs came in with an offer that the chairman decided was too good to turn down. So we then sold Ethan Ross to Hibs for 49,500. Now, potential increase is up to 195,000 to be fair. If we look at the clauses in this, we get 3 instalments of 5,500. After 10 league appearances, we get 35,000. If he gets an international cap, we get another 35,000, and we're getting 7,000 per game for the next 10 league appearances, and 20% of the profit as well. The issue, the big issue I have with that is Ethan Ross signed for Hibs and he's in the reserves. I did try to bring him back on loan, but he didn't want to come back. Figures. But yeah, I didn't want to sell him because he's one of our better players, or he was one of our better players. I felt that he could do a job in helping us stay in the Championship, and if he had a good season in the Championship, then we were going to get more money for him next season. But our new chairman decided otherwise. So it's been a bit of a rocky start between myself and the new chairman, Colin. But anyway, let's get into other transfer business. As I said, this has been a really tough transfer window. As you can see, there's lots of contracts that have been rejected and things like that. We brought a lot of players in on trial, a lot of them really good players, tried to sign them, and they went elsewhere. But we did manage to bring in a couple of players. So first off, this was a deal that was agreed before the end of last season, and he came in obviously at the start of the transfer window, and that's Ross McCausland. Previously at Rangers, and never started for them though. He's never played a game of football until he came to us, apparently. Well, he played non-competitive games for them. But he was available on a free. He was released by Rangers, brought him in on a free, and we'll take a closer look at him. As you can see, he's can play as a striker or on that right hand side. He's fast, he's tall, not the strongest of players, need to work on that, although that is starting to improve slightly. He's got good decision making, good composure, he can finish, he's got a good first touch on him. Heading and technique need to work on. But he is only 19 years old. Get 3-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. He's been good so far. He's got 1 goal and 2 assists in the Betfred Cup. So, quite happy with him so far. I have been playing him more on the right hand side, alongside Frizzell, swapping the two of them over. And if Frizzell's having a bad game and I'm playing McCausland up front, I can bring him back over. And that's pretty much how he's been used in the first few games. But yeah, quite happy with him. And then if we come back over, we see brought in Ben Williamson on a free transfer. He was previously at also previously at Rangers, was on loan to Arbroath a couple of seasons ago, where he done not too bad there. He's a centre midfielder. And again, he's just good. He's 20 years old, 3.5-star current ability with 5-star potential. He's physically is excellent. His mentals are pretty good as well. I mean, 18 work rate there. Technicals, a couple of good things there. A good dribbler, good first touch, good technique. A couple of other things could be doing with some work, but vision really needs some work. Other than that, I'm pretty happy that we were able to bring him in. There was quite a few teams were interested in him, and I was quite surprised when he signed for us. We've also brought Michael Dangana back on loan. I tried to extend his loan last season, and he had absolutely zero interest in it. But once the calendar ticked over and it showed we were promoted to the championship, or we were shown as in the championship, came back in for him, and he came to us. So don't really need to cover him. We know all about him. I'm happy to have him back. I did try to get Kevin Hanratty back on loan as well, because I thought forward partnership of Michael Dangana and Kevin Hanratty. But Aberdeen are not willing to let him leave because of his first team commitments. And then finally, we've brought in Sebastian Christensen. He is a 19-year-old Danish centre-back, 4-star ability, 5-star potential. He has come in from Everton, where he's not played any games. Played some non-competitive games, so I'm going to assume reserve games and the like. But he came up on the scouting report, brought him in trial, and decided I was immediately going to sign him without really looking at him too much. And he turned out to be not too bad, actually. 14 tackling, 14 marking, 14 for heading. Jumping reach needs some work. He is only 5'10", but he's got good strength, good pace, good acceleration, good anticipation, decision making and positioning as well. So quite happy with him as a 19-year-old centre back to play alongside McGeever, because Meggett's getting on. Crichton, I don't know if he's going to be good enough. But yeah, although McGeever wasn't happy, thought of replacing him. But no, he to play alongside you. So yeah, that's pretty much all the transfers so far, and then obviously Ethan Ross out. We are, as you probably saw there, got a few contract offers out. I've got a loan offer in for Ewan Henderson from Hearts. I've got a contract out to Blair Lions and Mauro Bandeira. A couple of players just try to bring in as the transfer window is still open, and we do still have tons of room in our wage budget as well as plenty in the transfer budget to try and bring people in. So until the transfer window closes, in between games, etc., I'll give you any updates and when they happen. In terms of what happened in the Betfred Cup, as you know, don't play the Betfred Cup on camera, or the group stages anyway. But this is what's going on in pre-season and in Betfred Cup. So, started off brilliantly with the friendlies. 3-1 win over Southampton under 23s, 3-1 win over Harland and Wolf Welders, 2-1 win over Man City under 23s, and a 2-0 win over Spennymoor. Aidan Conley was a trialist that we had in, as was Ben Elliott and Ian Stokes. Neither of Elliott I did offer a contract to. He then went to Rangers. Stokes just didn't. He didn't excite me. I didn't think he'd done anything to improve the squad over what we had, and the same with Conley. But Gosling getting on the score sheet a couple of times there. Brazil as well. Ethan Ross is obviously no longer with us. Then the competitive games start. So our group was Stranraer, Clyde, Motherwell and Hibs. First game, good 2-0 win against Stranraer, McCausland and Afolayan getting on the score sheet. We then get destroyed by Clyde. Katongo scoring the only goal of the game for us there. I don't know what happened. Clyde get relegated from the division we get promoted from last season. Don't know. Then played against Motherwell, get beat 2-0. We never looked like winning that game at all, which is a slight concern. No, Motherwell must have got promoted. Yeah, they did. No, never mind. I was going to say it's a slight concern because Motherwell are in our league, but they're not. They got promoted. And then we played against Hibs and beat them 2-1. Dangana finally getting on the score sheet with 2 goals there. And a good performance as well. And that's pretty much everything up to date now. Today, we're going to have 2 games, opening 2 games of the season. First off at home to Hamilton, and then away to Dunfermline Athletic. If we take a look at the season preview, we're favourite to get relegated. Massive favourites to get relegated. Alongside Airdrie, who come up with us, but we are 250 to 1 is the odds we have of winning the league. So the media obviously think that we are going back down. We want to prove them wrong. The only issue is, I'm not 100% happy with the team at the moment. Don't 100% think that the team is good enough to stay up. I am going to be trying to rectify that until the end of the transfer window. As I said, there are a few players that we've brought in that I'm happy with. So just need to keep trying, keep plugging away, and hope that we can cause an upset. If we finish 8th, I'll be happy. If we finish 9th, quite possibly would be happy with that as well. Who is it that goes down? Yeah, so it's only 10th that gets relegated and 9th goes into play at the playoff. So as long as we don't finish bottom of the table, I will count that as a successful season. Even more so if we finish in the playoffs, like 9th and get into the playoffs, if we manage to stay up through that. But anything higher than 10th, I am counting as a win this season. Right, so as I said, that's everything up to date then. So we'll get in now to the team for the first game of the season against Hamilton. And this is the team that we're putting out there. So a pretty familiar team, only a couple of changes. What is going on with this screen? There we go. No idea what was going on there. Only a couple of changes. So we're going with Zabrit in goals, Govia, McGeever, Christensen and Wardrope at the back, Carswell and Williamson. In fact, we're not going Carswell and Williamson, we're going Kirkpatrick and Williamson. Why did Carswell jump back in there? I don't know. We're going Kirkpatrick and Williamson in midfield, Spence and McCausland on the wings, Afolayan and Dangana as the strikers. Greg Spence is having to play out there, so we don't have anybody else that can play there. Hopefully, by the time the Dunfermline game rolls around, we will have somebody who is more naturally suited to playing there, and he's just a better player. Nothing against Greg Spence, I just think we can do better. So kick-off time. And this is going to be a good test to see how we fare in this league. Hamilton are probably not necessarily favourites to go up, but they're not favourites to be round about the bottom. I'd say they're probably a kind of mid-table-ish team, in my opinion. I could be wrong. But depending on how we play against them here, could be a good indicator of how things are going to go for the season. As Govia swings a corner in, but it's headed clear by the Hamilton defence. Dangana's picked up the clearance, so gives it inside to McGeever. Gives it back to Christensen, forward to Williamson. McCausland has it now. Back with Williamson. Wardrope plays a ball over the top for Michael Dangana, and Michael Dangana does what Michael Dangana does best and score, but he's offside. We know from experience how much Dangana likes to play on the shoulder, but it wasn't even him that was offside. It was, is that McCausland? I think he just drifted into an offside position. It wasn't interfering with play, so I don't know why he was called offside, but it's been a relatively positive start so far. As McGeever heads clear of the free kick from Hamilton. McGeever doing what McGeever does best and just winning things at the back. But it is Hamilton coming forward again. On the right hand side, the ball into the box, and McGeever, as always, gets up and heads clear, but it's come back. It's still coming forward now with Hamilton. They're trying on the left hand side this time. It's back to Ojo. Passing it between themselves quite nicely here. And then the shot from Shipley from the edge of the box. Zabrit does well. Get a hand and tip it over the bar. We know Zabrit can struggle sometimes with the long shots. So good save from him there. And then the corner in. And good tackle from Christensen. And it's cleared now with Spence on the left. Can he do anything with it? He tries to play the ball into Dangana, but it's a poor pass. And it's easily cleared by the Hamilton defence. Coming into half time now. And looking at the stats for the match, Hamilton have been much the better team. We've had slightly more of the possession, but we've had one shot, and it was off target. So we do need... We've been the better team here, have we, really? If that's what you think, then we'll go with that. Talking to my assistant manager there, obviously. We do need a better second half. So I'm going to encourage the team. And there's a few players not playing particularly well. As we have a highlight now, Christensen on it, plays it forward to Williamson. Williamson gives it out wide to Wardrop. Wardrop, he's got McCausland ahead of him. He's now past him. He is inside him though. It loses out there, and Kirkpatrick picks up the clearance. He has fed Affline through ahead of him. Affline, can he score? He can't. His shot is well saved, but McCausland picked it up on the edge of the box. And the clearance again falls to Kirkpatrick. Williamson has it now, but it's a bad touch from him, and that allows the Hamilton defender to clear. Wardrobe with the throw in from the resulting clearance. Williamson has it now, gives it to Dingana, back to Wardrobe, the ball into the box. Spence needs to be quicker getting into the back edge of that box for that ball, that diagonal ball. And Williamson with a great tackle. I thought that was a great tackle. The referee decided it was a trip. Penalty now for Hamilton. Come on, Gregor. Almost got to it. As Hamilton scores from the penalty spot for Hamilton. That wouldn't get confusing at all. See, Gregor's unlucky, almost gets a hand to it. Just can't quite reach it. And I think now, after 65 minutes, we should make a change or two. So McCausland, we're going to get you off for Frizzell. Spence, I really want to get you off. In fact, tried it once before. So Spence can come off for Katongo. And then Williamson is not having a great game. We'll take him off for Carswell. And that's our 3 substitutions. We can do now. I'm going to demand a bit more from the team because we are at home. I do expect a bit more. Especially since we've only had 2 shots on goal. Throw in now for Wardrop. Plays it to Frizzell. Frizzell back to Carswell. Carswell with the ball over the top, and Dingana manages to get onto the end of it. Gives it back to Carswell. Receives it back. Plays it into the box. It's headed clear by the defence. Wardrop plays it back over the top for Frizzell, and Adam Frizzell, he's offside. I think that was Dingana that was offside, not Frizzell. We'll see it again. No, Frizzell is just offside. 2 goals ruled out for offside in this game. This is going to be a long old season, isn't it? Christensen with the ball forward for Dingana to chase onto, but the keeper gets out quick. Comes back to McGeever. His ball forward is just easily mopped up by the defence though. And it's Hamilton coming forward again on the left hand side with Kamara. Can he get a ball into the box? He does. And Hamilton are at the back post, and Kamara with the header as the ball came back across, but his header was over the bar. And that's full time. Overall, not happy with the way the players played. Not massively disappointed with the result though. A 1-0, we had 2 goals chopped off for offside. We could easily have won that. I think a couple of additions to the squad add a bit of flair, a bit of creativity, and we might be okay. And back now for the game against Dunfermline Athletic. Just before we get into that, a couple of updates in terms of transfers. Both Blair Lyons and Ewan Henderson have came to join the club. Blair Lyons has come in on a free transfer. He was previously at Partick Thistle in the Championship last season. Only got 1 game for them though, apparently. And if you take a look at his profile, 3-star ability, 4-star potential, although at 25, don't think he's quite going to fulfil that. But he's come in as a winger on that left hand side because we needed somebody. He can also play on the right. He can play pretty much anywhere in the attacking third of the pitch. He's got good crossing. He's not the fastest. Good technique, good flair, good work rate. So hopefully he can add a little bit of creativity. And Ewan Henderson, come in on loan from Hearts, 22 years old, 4-star ability, 5-star potential. He's the areas where Lyons lacks, he picks up with his physicals. He's good pace and acceleration, good balance, good natural fitness, good strength, decent dribbling, good work rate. Everything else could use some work, whereas Lyons has got everything else. So again, he can play left wing, right wing, or up front. So brought them both in because we needed players on that left-hand side and we needed more than one. So that's pretty much got that position covered. I'm not massively happy with either player. There are other players I would have rather had, but we couldn't get them. And obviously with Ethan Ross, it was quite late on in the transfer window that he left, so it's a little before we come back that he left, so it's we're trying to just find somebody. We are getting on in the transfer window. Players are starting to be few and far between. Update on Ethan Ross is he's joined Inverness on loan. He turned down coming back to us on loan to then join Inverness, who are in our group, in our league. Who can fathom the mind of a player? Only other update, club atmosphere dynamics, currently not particularly good. Need to work on that. Another thing I'd noticed is that Daryl Meggett is unhappy. He's unhappy at not being sent on the promised coaching course. I requested to send him on a coaching course, and Colin, our glorious chairman, decided that Meggett wasn't showing enough interest in doing a coaching course. So this is the team for the game against Dunfermline Athletic. We are going with Zabret in goals, Govia, McGeever, Christensen and Wardrope at the back, Carswell and Williamson in midfield, Henderson and Frizzell as the wingers, with McCausland and Dingana up front. We've got Lyons on the bench, so if things aren't going well with Henderson, if he's not really playing particularly well, we can bring Lyons on and have a look at him as well. We probably will do at some point anyway, but he's there just in case. Ross McCausland's wanted by Coleraine and Clyde on loan. He's starting in my team. Why would I loan him out? Who knows? But let's get into the game. So kick-off time, and one of the things I've noticed over the past couple of games when it comes to the team talk is I think we're going to be the underdogs in pretty much every game we play this season. 10 minutes in, corner in from Govia, and McGeever's up there with the header, but his header is over the bar. I also noticed Christensen on a booking already, so is Carswell. I should maybe take the get stuck in thing off. Free kick for us now though, Frizzell to take it. And he has a shot. Good effort. The Dunfermline goalkeeper had to scramble across and put it away for a corner as Govia then swings in the corner. But it's headed clear out to Henderson. He, I think, was looking for Govia again, but there was a player offside. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. Goal kick for Dunfermline, and they're coming forward now. It looks a bit too easy for them, but the shot is nearer the corner flag than the goal. Do that all day. 25 minutes in, give some encouragement to the team. And we have a throw in from Wardrope. He gives it to Dangana. Dangana back to Williamson. Williamson feeds Frizzell in ahead. Frizzell's got men in the box, but he can't get the ball in. And it's cleared away by the Dunfermline defence, and it's Dunfermline who have the chance to come on the attack now, as McManus has it driving through the middle. Played out wide now to Mitchell Lawson. And it's still Dunfermline coming forward. Their shot hits the bar and the rebound is offside. Some good play there from Dunfermline. Questions defensively. The shot crashes off the bar and the follow-up player's offside. Thankfully for that. I've just noticed Airdrie have scored a goal, and this boy Kazim Olagbe had him on trial and tried to sign him, and he chose to go to Airdrie. Joys of being a part-time club. I mean, our reputation did get a boost over the summer, but obviously not quite enough. Checking the half-time match stats, we've been the better team here. So going to be looking for a big second half. Players not playing too badly, not playing brilliantly either, but not playing too badly. And at the start of the second half, a throw in from Wardrope, but it's headed clear by Dunfermline defence. It's back with Christensen though. He plays it forward looking for McCausland. Ball's now with Williamson. He finds McCausland ahead of him. Gives it to Carswell. Carswell plays it out wide to Govia. And Govia get a ball into the box. Tackle comes in, but Gavia manages to pick up the loose ball, and this time gets the ball into the box, and Frizzell's there with the header. He can't get over the ball, and as a result, the header goes over the bar. Looking at fitness levels at the moment, an hour in, I think we're going to take Henderson off because he is starting to tire, and he's not having the greatest of games. We'll bring Lyons on and see how he does. I'll keep him on as an inverted winger. Frizzell again is having a poor game, so I think we'll swap him and McCausland over and then bring Afolayan on. McCausland themselves not having the greatest of games, so hopefully moving out to the right hand side, he'll start to play a little bit better. I'm going to demand more as well. Throw in for Dunfermline as the ball comes into the box, and Zabret's almost caught out. Does well to backpedal and keep a hold of it. And the big ball up top now is easily dealt with by the Dunfermline defence, and Dunfermline can come forward again. Loose pass when Dangana gets onto it, gives it out to McCausland on the right. McCausland using his pace, and he gets into the box. He just gets into the edge of the box and has a shot. The shot not troubling the goalkeeper. Maybe should have looked up to find Dangana ahead of him. As a free kick comes in for Dunfermline, and the header just wide of the post. That was a tight one there. I don't know what I mean by that was a tight one. It was close, is what I mean. It's Dunfermline again coming forward. But Afolayan does well to block the pass, although this time the ball over the top. Declan McManus grabs his third goal of the season. Zabret needed to be out quicker to that. Dunfermline take the lead on 66 minutes. So here Afolayan needed just to be a little bit quicker to get to the loose ball, and then the ball straight over the top. And McManus gets onto it and knocks it past Zabret. It's, again, just that ball over the top. We've struggled with that for the past couple of seasons. Demand more. Going to switch to attacking. It's a throw in for Dunfermline. Just on the edge of their box. Forward now for McManus, but headed clear by McGeever. Christensen has it. He plays a long ball forward for Dangana. Nodded down to Afolayan. Gavia has it now. Inside to Williamson. Gets it back from him. Plays Lyons in ahead of him. Lyons turns. Finds Afolayan. Gives it out wide to Gavia. Can Gavia get a ball in? He can. Can't find the Dumbarton head, and it's headed clear again by the Dunfermline defence. This is just far too easy for the Dunfermline defenders. Well, Dangana's in now. Michael Dangana grabs his third goal this season to level things up. That's why I brought him back and on loan. Brilliant ball over the top from Wardrope. It was all a bit scrappy. Wardrope does well to win the ball back just on the halfway line. Plays the ball over the top. Michael Dangana does what he does best, running on the shoulder of the last man, gets onto the end of it and nods it home. And of course, it's a tight offside. Clearly onside. No need to worry. I'm going to switch to very attacking for the last 10 minutes and see if we can steal a winner. I'm going to bring Katongo on for Gavia on that left hand side because Gavia was tiring. And the 94th minute now, throw in there, got into the box, but it was cleared by the Dunfermline defence, and Dunfermline can counter-attack here. McManus is fed in, he gets into the box, he has a shot. Gregor Zabret does well to get down and save it, and it goes for a corner. Need to try and hold on here. I'm going to switch back to positive because there is only 20 seconds left in the game. The corner comes in from Dunfermline and it's headed away. I think that was Dangana got ahead on that to clear it. And Dangana again there to hoof the ball clear for a throw-in. Doing a solid shift defensively there, Michael Dangana. Getting involved at both ends. We're now over the allotted added time. And Williamson gets in ahead of the Dunfermline player to clear the ball. And that leads to the final whistle. So able to pick up our first point in that game. Good point for us. I want to just have a quick look at the season preview again. The teams that we've just played. Hamilton predicted to finish third, Dunfermline predicted to finish fourth. So, a point from those two games, considering where we're predicted to finish, I'm relatively happy with. Against the teams in the bottom half of the table, your likes of Ayr, Arbroath, Queen of the South, and Airdrie, you know, the teams that are predicted to finish 6 down, those are the games that I feel that we need to be winning. But anything above that, I'm perfectly happy with. So as we see already, after the 2 games, we're 8th in the table, 1 point from 2 games. Not perfect, but I'll take it. But that brings us to the end of the first episode of the Scottish Championship season. So I'm going to go away and play a few games offline. Depending who we get in the Challenge Cup 3rd round, we might come back for that. If not, I think what we're going to do is come back for the Ayr United and the Airdrie games. Ayr, again, one of those teams that are predicted to finish around about the bottom half of the table. It's a game we need to be taking some points from, and Airdrie, well, after our rivalry last season, I have to show that. I think that's where we'll come back. Again, depending on who we get in the 3rd round of the Challenge Cup, might come back for that. It's an exciting game. And that wraps up a rather strange episode 16. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the transfers we've made so far, and if you've got any suggestions in the players that we should be looking to bring in. While you're down there, please feel free to leave a like on the video, and if you haven't already, then subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell to make sure you don't miss any videos going forward. As always, thank you very much for watching.